We have new reporting. CBS News has obtained a copy of the 165-page questionnaire that Emil Bove, Trump's former personal criminal defense attorney, current top DOJ official, who Trump is appointing to be a Third Circuit Court of Appeal judge. How he filled out that questionnaire is stunning, and let's break this down. My name is Dina Doll with the MeidasTouch Network. So in this questionnaire, he not only fails to denounce January 6th insurrectionists, but fails to articulate and agree with the fact that the United States Constitution limits a president, and in particular Trump, to 2 terms. No wonder Trump and the Republicans are trying to push his confirmation through quickly. Trump nominated him to be this judge on May 28th, and it is expected to be voted on as soon as possibly July 14th, whether or not to confirm him or continue the confirmation hearings. On average, Trump is a lot speedier in his confirmations than in the past. This is how he was able to get so many judges through the first term. But the average amount of time for Trump, even with his, let's say, speedy fashion, is 115 days. So this is a stunningly fast record. It's because of the mess and all of the actions Emil Bove has taken so far. As we know, Emil Bove represented Trump in the trial, his criminal defense trial in New York, where Trump was convicted of 34 counts of fraud. Not only Emil Bove, but Todd Blanche also represented him. As we know, Todd Blanche is the deputy attorney general right now, who incidentally with the Epstein files is going out there saying that the DOJ and the FBI are on the same page. Let's just say Trump's criminal defense attorneys are busy in the DOJ and their actions right now. And evidently, Emil Bove's actions in the DOJ are helping award him this nomination. We know that he was evidently the man in charge of the trying to dismiss Eric Adams' charges against him as a quid pro quo. Trump was trying to help make sure that Eric Adams would do his bidding with immigration policy and wouldn't enforce the New York City sanctuary policies. We had quite a few DOJ attorneys resign as a result of that. Never mind the fact of what he's also just been implicated in with this new whistleblower account. We have the whistleblower filing an account saying that as a result of the order that the judge issued with Abrego Garcia, demanding that the United States government return Abrego Garcia. Evidently, a colleague said that Emil Bove said F you about this order. And the attorney who used to be at the DOJ for 14 years, Erez Reviune, said that the instructions, when he came out and said that he was questioning Bove's instruction to ignore a court order, something that a disciplined, ethical DOJ attorney would never want to do. He was threatened, fired, and publicly disparaged as a result of it. So certainly, Emil Bove's actions to this point, Trump is awarding him this appointment. They are hoping to push his appointment through. CBS News, the stunning questionnaire. In this questionnaire, he was asked specifically what he thought of the Constitution and the amendment that says, quote, no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. This is, of course, the 22nd Amendment. Can't say it any clearer than that. But this is the word salad. This is the evasive non-answer that somebody who is being nominated, not at a district court level, but at an appellate level, usually reserved for the most seasoned, for the most experienced judges and lawyers out there, not political hacks willing to flout the law and judges' orders and pretend he doesn't know what the Constitution says. This is why they're rushing it through or attempting to rush it through. This is his response to whether or not the 22nd Amendment limits a president to 2 terms. Quote, as a nominee to the Third Circuit, it would not be appropriate for me to address how this amendment would apply in an abstract hypothetical scenario. He responded in multiple occasions. There was several different questions basically in that memo, all leading to this. It said, quote, to the extent this question seeks to elicit an answer that could be taken as opining on the broader political or policy debate regarding term limits or on statements by any political figure, my response, consistent with the positions of prior judicial nominees, is that it would be improper to offer any such comment as a judicial nominee, end quote. Let's just talk about where he says opining on the broader political or policy debate. There is no debate about how this constitutional term limit is written. It is true that we are hearing the Steve Bannons of the world try to flout this idea that Trump should run again. But this is not some sort of actual debate. No serious person has actually thought that this was a question mark in the Constitution. So for him as a appellate court judicial nominee to act as if this is not settled law, to act as if this is not clearly constitutional, shows how much of a Trump hack he is and not somebody who's actually going to care about the rule of law, which is why they are trying to push him in. Of course, also about the January 6th insurrectionists. He failed to denounce them, their actions. Again, a judge, the whole purpose is to uphold the rule of law, and the insurrectionists and the trying to stop the transfer of power goes to the core of that. When asked whether or not he would characterize them as insurrectionists, he declined to answer. When asked where he was on January 6th, he said he didn't recall. I mean, I think all of us remember exactly where we were when that happened. And when asked what he thought as a judicial nominee and as an attorney about Trump's pardons, he declined to answer. All very telling non-answers, again, from somebody whose whole purpose, if he gets this job, is to uphold the rule of law. This is taking Trump nominees to a whole new category, because we saw, even with some Trump nominees, some reasoned opinions. As we know, many of the Capitol police officers and others are suing Trump civilly because of what happened on January 6th. And that appellate court upheld their ability to sue him. And that included even a Trump appointee on that panel. They argue that it was not a matter of law, that all of the things that Trump did that day were official conduct, as Trump had tried to argue in his request for a dismissal of the lawsuit. So even with the Trump appointees in his first term, taking somebody like Emil Bove and his inability to be very clear about a very clear statute that a president can only have 2 terms, and his unwillingness to tell us what he thinks, whether or not we're going to agree with it or not, but even tell us what he thinks about the January 6th insurrectionists, take Trump's appointments to a whole new corrupt and frankly unqualified level. This is why they are pushing him through. But CBS, with this leak of the questionnaires and the memos, getting that information out there. We're doing the same thing here on MeidasTouch, getting that information out there. If you haven't yet free subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can get all the many updates on this issue and many more to come.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.meidastouch.com. All 100% USA union made.